Good morning and welcome to our craft desk this morning. My name's my name's Jenny McCormac. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire, and that is here in the UK. Good morning to you. If you're watching live, do say hi. It's lovely to know who's joining us. If you're watching on catch up or replay, whether that is here on Facebook or on YouTube, then a warm welcome to you too whenever you're watching. This was recorded on Monday the 7th of October 2024, but obviously with the power of social media you could be watching this anytime later. So a warm welcome to you. If you have any questions regarding the products I'm using or any of my activities and things I get up to, just pop them in the comments section and I'll be more than happy to answer any queries. So good morning to Carol, good morning to Catherine, and good morning to Caroline, who I can see have popped up already here on Facebook. If you joined us on Thursday evening, you will have seen me use this stamp set. As you can see, it's called Hang and Ornament. It has two ornament stamps which have a coordinating die that cuts those elements out. It has holly leaves and holly berries. It has a little hook for the ornament if you're stamping it. We have a little pull symbol. You'll see why we need that. 2 sentiments just for you and all is merry. And a little piece of pine. There are coordinating stamps that cut this out. With the sentiments, I just used the merry on Thursday, so I just inked up the merry part of that. You could of course cut that stamp if you wanted to, and that fits nicely in this gap here for the ornaments. The dies that go with it, there are, just making sure, 12 dies. I think that says 12 with my glasses on. So we have a die that cuts out the ornament itself. We have a little arrow, we'll see where we use that. We have the holly leaf die for the stamp, but we also then have holly and berries as well on separate dies. This cuts out the pine, and then we've got some background effects for the bauble itself, a little label here that you can put the sentiment onto or just use as a backing, and then a little piece here that you can use to create the little cup, and also the little hook. So on Thursday we did some simple stamping ready for coffee and card. This is one that I actually did at coffee and card on Friday afternoon, and we just literally stamped 3 ornaments, whether they're the same or used the 2 different ones. And then I've used Christmas from the Peaceful Season stamp set. This has some fabulous Christmas elements to it that include things you could put inside of your card, as well as Happy and Merry Christmas, Love from Our Home to Yours, Love from My Home to Yours. Yeah, a whole series, 19 stamps in that set. So we kept it very basic. I'm sorry I've mislaid my samples. If you could see my craft, you'd be horrified. I had an all-day craft session on Saturday and then an online craft session yesterday, and yeah, let's see, nothing has been put away yet. Okay, so I thought I would do some experimenting. This is an idea in my head. I have no idea whether this is going to translate, and if not, we'll just die cut some ornaments. So this ornament die here, let me move this out of the way so we're not reflecting too much. We do have sunshine this morning. This die here cuts out the baubles. So you can just cut the baubles out in patterned paper if you wish, or you can cut them out in card and stamp your image, or I would stamp and then die cut. It's a lot easier to do that. But what's interesting about this die is it has 3 little notches, which means when you die cut it out, the die remains in the card. So here's a sample here. So when you die cut it, the actual die stays there, and it's fixed by those 3 tiny little points. So it means you can leave it in there for your recipient to tear off or pull out and use as an ornament on their tree. So that is what I'm thinking I'm going to do. So let me show you my layers. I'm thinking at the minute, I might change my mind. I've got a real red card, and on top of that, from the Take a Bow papers, I'm going to layer this layer here with these lovely berries and leaves. I'm going to add a panel, which I'm thinking could be this, and I'm going to die cut, stamp, and then die cut my ornament out of it. So I've got this panel here that's going to sit on top of there. Now when the person takes the panel out, they'll see this piece behind, but what I might do is add this, so that when the whole thing's taken off, you've got another ornament behind, if that makes any sense. So for example, actually I could use the back of that, so it still looks like there's an ornament on there. And then I've just got, from that same Peaceful Season set, this sentiment. So I'm going to have Merry on my ornament and Christmas on my banner. So that's my theory. Good morning, Brenda. Thanks for joining us. Oh, whiting on dark card. Absolutely. I've seen quite a few people, especially on Pretty Peacock, Mossy Meadow, with white ink. That definitely would work. So let's do my ornament element first before I layer everything else together. Okay, so let me see. Right, I'm going to use a white layer here. This is one of our dies. Let me see if I can find something to poke those little bits out with. I'll probably be able to find everything but a pokey tool, so I'm just going to use my scissors. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp my ornament in here, like so. So we have a choice of 2. We've got this one with the little cones and this one with the leaves. I think I'm going to use the one with the leaves because that will sort of coordinate with our backing here. And that is this one. You can see they were well used at the weekend. And if you want to see some great samples, just look at my Facebook page from Friday or Saturday morning. I shared ones that were created then. Let me see, I'm going to use real red, I think. And let me just try it out on here. So I don't know how much ink I have in this pad. Oh yes, fair bit. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this in the center here, like that. Now just in case that one doesn't work, I'm just going to have this one on standby, which is a slightly larger circle. I think it will be okay, like that. Right, let's pop the Merry on the inside, so I can use the Merry from there, or I can use the Merry from not that one, Greetings of the Season, or I could use Happy, except I haven't got Happy to hand, so Merry Christmas it is. So let's get the stamping done first. Okay, let's try it on this one. I guess I could use a contrasting colour. I could use the garden green. I'm going to do both of these, so I've got to back up. Okay, Merry, Merry, let's pop Christmas on here. So I hope everybody had a good weekend. I had a great weekend with Sam on our Christmas craft day. It was really good. Everybody enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. And yeah, it was all just a great day. So I'm going to put Christmas on here. Like so. Right, let's see how this is coming together so far. So this is going to go onto there. I might swap it now. I could swap this for a real red and then onto a white card. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so that's going to go onto there. And then we're going to have our ornament on the top, which I'm going to die cut. And then put a panel behind this, so I'll need to cut out a smaller circle to fit behind there, and then I've got Christmas here. So far so good. Let's die cut this one first, and I need to find the die that I had in my hand. There it is. Okay. Now, when I die cut this out, I'm going to have the Merry, but I'm going to end up with a white back. So what I'm going to do, when I've die cut it, I'll be able to see where the lines are, and I'm going to attach, I just happen to die cut this one out, a piece of pattern paper to the back. You could leave it plain, you could stamp another one and put that on and have Merry and then Christmas, so lots of different ideas. So all I'm going to do is position this on here and die cut it. So bear with me 1 second, just going to use a little piece of masking tape to hold it in place. I need to just poke that little piece out there if I can. There's my pokey tool right in front of me. Okay. Put a bit of tape on just to hold it in place, and then I'm going to run this through. Right, so there's the bit on the back. I'm going to take this off a little bit carefully, like so. So can you see I've got, if you can see the light, I need to put my glasses on because I can't see the screen otherwise. Hopefully you can see where that's die cut, the edge of that. So what I'm going to do is attach this on the back, but I could easily stamp another one and have Christmas on the back, but I'm just going to add this. It's got a hole in the top ready for the piece of string, so let's just glue that. Could have the stripes. but I like that one. And glue. So far, so good. Right, so I've stuck that on the back and it's still attached in here. I'm going to thread some silver twine. I think I've got some, I had some here. I'm hoping it'll fit through the hole. And what I'm going to do is just tuck it in between the layers. You'll see what I mean. I'm hoping this will work. Let's grab some of this. I'm sorry if I'm not responding to any comments. It's because I haven't got my phone with me. Oh, good morning, Nicole from Netherlands. Thanks for joining us. And hi, Kerry. Lovely to have you join us. Haven't seen you for a while. Okay. So this is my stamp set of the week hang and ornament set, and it's a really good value stamp set. It's £16 and it's in our mini catalogue for September to December. Now I need to take my glasses off. So I'm going to thread this through the hole. Like so. And then obviously I don't want to come up through here because I want them to be able to pull this out. So I'm just going to feed it through the gap. Being careful not to obviously pull it apart. Now if you wanted a whole series of ornaments, just stamp them and then pull them out. What have I done there? It's this one I want through the front. It is Monday morning, I haven't had coffee, so the main thing is it's intact there. That's it. So it's just round that loop at the top. Just going to tie a little, just tie a small knot and then trim the excess off. Like so. Alright, so now I've got my ornaments double-sided ready to pull out. This is going to go on here. Now when that's pulled out, it'll leave the gap, which will still work, but I think what I'm going to do is die cut a piece that's going to sit behind there, so you'll have that shape afterwards. And or you could do another ornament and put it behind, but if you weren't accurate enough it might look a bit strange. It would need to be exactly in place. So I think what I'm going to do is die cut this, and I just want it to sit behind here. So actually all I need is a circle die or a punch that is between these two sizes. Let me just see if I've got a punch to hand. Hi Fran, thanks for joining us. Lovely to have you with us today, Kerry, and you. And it's fine, don't apologise. And we're all busy. Okay, it needs to be a bit bigger than that. That's 2 inches. So 2 3/8. It needs to be smaller than that. I think that will do it. 2 1/4 might be better. Let's have a look and see. Just going to punch it out of the side so that I can still use that as a panel. So what I want it to do is fit behind there. That was perfect. I don't want it to be I don't want it to cover up this circle here. So when you pull that away, you see that behind. Perfect. Now I had in mind to put this on with dimensionals. Yeah, so that's easier to pull away, and then that can be flat underneath, but it'll have the shape of the ornament on top, if that makes sense. So let's layer this up. I'm just going to put this on the real red. So there's that. This is so pretty, this take a bow paper. Nice traditional red and green stripes, spots, and so not overly Christmassy. It doesn't have to be Christmas papers. You could use it for any time of year. Okay, so this has got to go on, and then this has got to go on top. Now I know that this piece isn't actually going to be seen except when this piece is taken away. So I'm just going to work out my positioning for this. Yeah, I think I'll have that a little bit higher up like that. Okay, so I'm going to position this with flat with wet glue. So the idea in my head is working so far. We'll see. Okay, sorry about that grinding noise. I've got Chino underneath enjoying a bone. Okay, this is going to go on top, and I'm going to use dimensionals around the edge. This is just going to make it easier for this piece to come away. So I want to make sure I'm clear of this, but dotted around the edge. So mini dimensionals are perfect for this, and you can almost guarantee I won't have any of the right ones to hand. I've got black here, so let me just use the edges of this, of our normal dimensional sheet. Just going to cut along there, and then cut a few small pieces. Oops, which are pinged everywhere. Okay, so I hope everybody is well. The weather today here is much better than yesterday. It's nice and bright, blue sky at the minute, relatively mild. So I'm positioning this around the edges, not too close to either side, sort of in the middle. There we go. There's that one. And I think I'll need to cut one more probably. So the only problem with this is you can't sort of see the finished effect without taking the bauble out and then sort of ruining it. Hey ho. This is probably the fiddliest bit, just putting these pieces on, to be honest. Okay, I think we're there. So I've got dimensionals on the back. I cut a piece of the designer paper and put it on the back of the ornament, so the ornament's got two sides to it rather than just being white on the other side. This is going to go over there so that when this is taken away you'll get the ornament shape but with this behind it. So let's peel those off. Just be gentle with this. You don't want to have the ornament hanging off before it's got to its recipient. It has got that little bit of twine coming through, and there is a little arrow in that set and the word pull. So in case your recipient doesn't realise that it's designed to come off, we're going to add that. So I'm just going to position this. Remember, you're not going to see the back of this other than when the ornament is taken out. So that's nicely supported, and I do like it with that die. Hopefully you can see that. Here's my Christmas. It's going to go on there. It's going to go on with dimensionals. Go. 1, 2, to support the sides as well. These dies from this set will work entirely on their own. It's a great stamp set to go with it, but if you've got lots of Christmas sentiments but not many sort of different banner shapes, then I definitely recommend buying the, just buying the dies. Obviously if you buy it as a bundle, you'll get your 10% discount. And starting today, for 3 days, there is an offer from Stampin' Up for 15% off all stamps in the annual catalogue. So if you've been meaning to get a stamp set, now could be the time to get it. So there's that little arrow. So I think what I'm going to do is cut that. Really want a snippet of real red. Perhaps I'll use white, because I have more bits of white. She says. There we go. Let's stamp the word pull on there from the stamp set. That's where that comes in, if anybody was wondering. I really only need a small block for that, so I'll stamp that real red. I've just dropped a stamp. She's now in the dog's bed. I'll go looking for it in a minute. I think it was my Mary. Okay. Just doing a couple of those in case I need it. So it's got a tiny word, a tiny little pull. There's my little arrow. So obviously you can have this go whichever direction you want when you cut it. So I could have that there, or even I could pre-stamp it on there. Let's see. I've got nice new plates on my die cutting machine. My goodness, what a difference that makes. My machine gets a lot of use, to be fair. So this tiny little arrow says pull. So, or I could just put it on here, because when it's gone it's going to look a bit strange, isn't it, with pull on it? What do you think? And keep that on a glue dot or something so you can take it away. I don't know. If I had a glue dot to hand, that's exactly what I would use. I'm just going to use a dot of glue, but I think possibly it could go on the string. You wouldn't have to use the arrow, you could just literally do it. Let me see if anybody's got any other ideas. No other comments, that's fine. Just do that. There we go. So it's pull, though you can hardly see it. We had been better at an angle. Never mind, I'll go with that. Okay, so when the recipient pulls this away, they'll see the dotty ornament shape behind. Now, this stamp set has got the holly and the berries, and you could certainly cut out some of these. I don't think I need to add it to this, but you could add them to the ornament itself. You could really step that up if you wanted to. You could heat emboss it on, as Catherine said, white on a dark coloured card. And you could also use these elements here to decorate it up. What you just need to be careful of is that it's still going to come away. So when you're gluing anything down, make sure you don't go over the edge. And there we go. Let's pop a layer on the inside and we're done. So let me know what you think. Let's just pop that on there. So my idea did work. Whew. I've got an odd strip there that I can put on the inside. This isn't basic white. It's a piece of rogue white. And this is this one. So I'm going to make this 9.5 by 13.85. And I could just stamp a Christmas sentiment. Let's just pop that holly on the inside just so that you can see it stamped. And then we're done, and I just need to go and find that stamp before it disappears any further. It'll be attached to the dog, I expect. So I'm going to put this on here. So I'm going to put my little bit of holly at the top. So just pop 2 leaves in. Not quite sure which way these leaves go. I can guarantee I'll have done them the wrong way. But you could also use the dies as well. So the dies cut up the stamps, but there's also some larger dies. And we also have, this time round, some holly berries in sets of 3, which are actually embellishments. So you could put those, although I wouldn't put them inside a card, I would put them on the front. Just test this out. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Cute. Cutest little holly. Oh, it's glitching a little bit, so apologies for that. Okay. Pop the strip on the bottom and we're done. So thank you so much for joining us today. This is our stamp set of the week, so if you buy the stamp set the week that I'm demonstrating it, then you'll get all of the products for the projects that I make. So you'll get all these components to make this ornament card as well. There we are. I'm pleased with that. It came out better than I thought. And I think because I cut spares, I was all right. If I hadn't cut any extras, you can guarantee it would have gone wrong. Okay, this is in the middle with a 1/2 centimetre border all the way around. And there we go. So all you have to do is just pull this away. I'm so tempted to, but on the other hand, I don't want to spoil it because it's not as useful when it's been used. I suppose I could just peel a little bit off. But there we go. So a hang and ornament set using the stamps and the dies. That's that. So that's the stamp set. The dies you'll have seen in passing, and they're available in our September to December catalogue 2024. So thank you so much everybody. I hope you have a great week. I've got to do a bit of tidying up. I've got to find that stamp before I do anything else, and grab a cup of coffee, and I look forward to crafting with you again really soon. For those that I'll see at Coffee and Card this afternoon or tomorrow, I look forward to spending some time with you. And I have 2 sets of the ornament stamps to use, so we should be good to go with not too much waiting. Thank you everybody. Do take care, and bye for now. Thank you.